Please stand. The pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. We've got some minutes to approve. I had a couple things on the public meeting for the September 2nd. On Roger, on number 7 under job descriptions, the last sentence, both the aforementioned documents will be approved by the select board. Just should be, will be approved. I'm not sure what it. Okay.
Get good help on stage. Spell check.
And then under 8D, when we were talking about a new police officer for Canaan under the budget. Oh no, that's the wrong one, sorry. When we were talking about the new police officer under the budget, where was that?
On the carries.
On the bottom of page 1. I wanted known that I was against that, even though it's not in the process yet of making a decision yet.
Did you say that in the meeting?
I
though?
did say it in.
Okay, so it has to have been said in the meeting to be in the minutes.
It
Alright.
was in his mind.
I said it out loud, I know it. Other than that, those are the only things I had. Anybody?
Monica sent them to me, but I read them on the. Well, I will move to approve then.
Oh, second.
All in favor? Aye, and then the 2 nonprofits, they're both fine as far as I'm concerned.
Is that your motion to approve them?
I'll make a motion to approve both the non-publics.
Oh, second then.
All in favor?
Like,
Aye.
Thank you.
So we have a group here from Friends of Canaan Village for village beautification.
Yes. Yes, good evening. Friends of Canaan Village. My name is Lynette Barna, and I'm part of the Scarecrow Committee. I'm here with Stella Butterfield, and I believe that Jan Coolidge has connected in via Zoom. And so we have put forward a proposal of a, maybe she hasn't booked in yet, so maybe she's on the way. So we put forward a proposal that we're requesting your approval on as for Canaan scarecrows. And that is usually during the fall time, there are a number of Upper Valley towns who put up scarecrows and then dress them in different clothes and sometimes business attire, business t-shirts and things like that. So what we're proposing is a pilot project. This would be our first year trying this out in order to check out the logistics. And so we have talked with a total of 8 locations around here close into the village in order to go ahead and put up scarecrows as far as just as a beautification, just kind of a community project. For some people, it kind of brings a little smile as they're passing through. And so this is what we are proposing here to the select board to see if there are any issues that you may have or any questions. Yes.
I would request no scarecrow be placed at the either end of any marked crosswalk.
Yes.
Yes.
I was
This
gonna
is
say
a
that.
problem in the towns that are doing it.
Right.
And with the state law that you must stop for people in crosswalk. I almost rear-ended one in Enfield because they had one at the end of the crosswalk by Jake's. And they come over the hill after dark and just bang, stop.
Mhm. Very
Well,
good.
I think there should be, I mean, I'm concerned with how close in infield, how close they are to the edge of the road, not even the
Yes.
crosswalks. It's, it can be very distracting at night to see something, to see one of them.
Most of ours are gonna be attached to signage for the business that they're gonna be in front of. So they're not gonna be really close to the signs.
Yeah, that's my
Have that
concern,
with,
is
Ryan.
that we try to keep safety for the
Right,
Absolutely.
people in mind at the same time, so they're not that distracting for somebody stopping thinking it's somebody at the end of a crosswalk or
Let's
standing.
touch base with the police chief, the chief of police.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah, I just, I mean,
Yeah, cause they have some out there that are tied to telephone poles on the edge of the pavement, so people are swerving over thinking it's a pedestrian.
my personal opinion is Enfield's gotten over the top and they're just trying to find places to put them and they're everywhere. It's just too much. You know what? Good. Well, and
Days.
you know, I think there's a happy medium and I'm just concerned of going over the top. So that's my concern of,
They
you know,
do
for
sort
the
of
safety. What's that?
They do, oh, sorry, you were still talking.
No, I just
Yeah,
think, it's-
Infield has 120. We met with them.
yeah,
And we are not gonna get to 120, forget it. We're starting with 8.
yeah, and to Scott's point, I just, you know, I think we gotta be real clear on how close we get to the edge of the road with them. So,
Right,
So.
yes, and those, oh, please, go ahead.
You can't secure them to any stakes that are out there that the state puts in anyway, so I think it would be further off the road, because Enfield did that, the state said, please move them. They secured one to it this year already and had to move it. But they do store their own. I don't know that we have storage space that.
Right now, that's something that internally that we're addressing and thinking about. With 8, we think that it's a doable size, that as far as once they're collected and stored for the season, then we think that that's gonna be okay. But that's something that we're gonna have to think about amongst ourselves within Friends of Canaan Village in order to determine, you know, as we hope to grow this program a little bit, just how that'll work out. So we have a few options that we're considering right now, definitely.
go ahead.
What do you mean store their own? The town stores them?
No, it's from Enfield Village Association, and they store all of their own. And then they pull them out and they have like a couple of working groups where they split them all up, they get new clothes that listen and things like that, and they put them all together, because I've participated in it before, so they don't, this is saying like, hey, town, do you have space to store them? So if it gets bigger, I'm just concerned about that, but.
Don't some of the businesses store theirs though?
No, Eva stores all of the scarecrows. They put them up, they take them down. The business doesn't have to do anything except for say, okay, go for it.
Right, or maybe, you know,
Okay.
here's a T-shirt that you can use, you know.
No, I was under the impression my brother-in-law did his own, but I'll ask him. I sit corrected.
Maybe some of them do, I don't know.
Yeah,
Right, yeah, some people might.
yeah, okay.
Let's store them at your house.
Did not know that. Well, I don't have any room.
So I would approve, my opinion is I'd approve it, but I'd like to see if it, you know, next year, if you want to go to 12 or 20, that you come back before us for approval. That's not just a, you know, that we're approving the 8, but again, I'm not.
I move to accept it with the reservation of make sure safety to be reviewed annually.
Yeah, and I think Ryan was, like you said, Ryan was involved in the conversations, and I'm sure if there's any safety concerns, he'll let you know. I think it's a great idea. So I will second the motion if we're voting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh.
And then we got another, is this all about
There's something from Cindy,
from Cindy from
her,
Friends of Canaan Village?
yeah.
Yeah, also on the Friend of Canaan Village, I hope, you have seen the improvement to the downtown with removal of 4 dead trees.
Yeah.
The replacement for the tree nearest to the Chinese restaurant is going to happen Thursday. MTD has volunteered to help with placement of that tree, so they Ryan Harvey, our forester, has gotten the dig safe approval. MTD is going to use an auger, I think, to dig the hole and get one of those water
Yep.
tubes to go around the tree, so. that
They
would-
gonna remove the old stuff?
Yes,
Okay.
Is it gonna be the same tree, same?
it's going to
species?
be a snow apple, snow
Spring snow
crab apple. But it's a tree that's suited for municipal environments.
Okay.
And it's not too big, doesn't make a mess, is non-fruiting. So that was recommendation.
And that's the only one we're gonna replace, or that's,
Well, it's subject to discussion about, certainly not the one by the stop sign by the library. That was completely overshadowed by the
Okay.
big tree on the library lawn.
Right.
There were sighting issues. The two by the courthouse, that's up for discussion. I mean, I was downtown in the evening last week and seeing the light coming out of the open restaurant without dead trees around was really inviting and attractive.
yeah, I
So,
know Dan was having trouble with it, blocking the sign too, when it was
Yeah.
alive too, but.
so I don't think there's any, demand
Yeah.
for us to replace them.
Okay,
And if we decide to replace the two or discuss it, we have to go through the DOT again.
Yeah.
And get another permit.
Okay.
And I've already talked to him, so.
great.
It's in there right away, that's why.
Right, but we had to go through them and file an application to get them cut down, so.
Those trees are all planted under the America the Beautiful
Right, way
program
back.
that did the problems downtown, created them.
Do we have any movement on trying to get the yellow blinking light back in town too? Since we're talking about
we're not-
intersections.
The odds are, we're not looking very successful. I mean, I've already talked to the District Two engineer, but we can make an application and see what we can do. So,
Something that's
I
getting
mean, I have-
brutal in the morning to get out
Yeah.
onto Route 4, so
well,
not that that may help or not.
it
but
doesn't
it's-
technically, it only helps make people
Aware.
that there's an intersection coming,
Right.
because it doesn't allow people to enter the road without, you still gotta wait for everybody to
We could
clear.
apply for a four-way stop like we have further down Route 4.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think that was, I don't think we'll do well with that one. That's
A
okay.
lot of enemies out there.
But you can enforce the 118 yield sign. There's a
Yeah.
stop sign there right now, but it's really a yield sign.
So they say, no, that's why.
You will-
All right, well, thank you very much for that and getting the trees back and take care of
Thank you.
this whole package.
Yeah.
All right. No, it's. Well, for your. Yeah, your whole.
That's-
What's that?
This is like Chris Fournier for,
Yeah, that's for the Goose Pond Road. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's down there.
perfect. Thank you. Mr. Bergeron,
Okay,
I'm sorry, anything else on downtown before we go? on?
No,
Okay, thank you.
no, all
All right,
good.
Mr. Bergeron,
minor change to the meeting house rental policy.
Yep.
Three things. Define nonprofit, define large event. And eliminate the telephone words that were appropriate 10 years ago, but are no longer appropriate. So specifically, we're defining a nonprofit as nonprofit organization shall mean an entity organized for a public benefit, social cause, or dedicated to pursuing mission-oriented goals through the collective action of members, rather than to make a profit for owners. And also along with that, deleting the requirement that a 501c3 certificate be provided. The other thing is to define large event, and large event means more than 40 people. 40 was picked because that happens to be the break point between 0 portable toilets and 1. And then there were words in here about there's no landline and you gotta use your own cell phone, and we can't borrow our town cell phone. So those words aren't really necessary anymore.
Free Wi-Fi there.
That never knew I had a cell phone that goes there, Roger.
I'll make a motion that we accept the changes to the rental agreement.
All second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Ariana, you're gonna be talking about the new cash link policy management policy. Or,
Yeah, we just wanted to put into a policy our practices. The major change is a daily closeout of cash drawers and taking the deposit to the bank every day. And then we documented the $25 bounce check fee at the very bottom.
so how does that affect the box for like building permits coming in and JR collects that goes into the box and recorded, how often do we, that gets taken care of?
Since receiving our 2024 audit finding, we were using the full-time deputy and town hall administrative assistant to hopefully remedy that finding. So the intent is, now that she got her cash drawer, she's going to training tomorrow, she'll soon be up and running on her own.
Perfect.
That she'll be able to process all the payments that are coming in and going into that box and sitting around for a week.
Yeah,
Excellent.
the hope is basically to eliminate its need.
Yeah, okay, good. All right. These plans.
I had questions, about under deposits, the sections that we talked about, so one of the requirements is that cash received by treasurer or town clerk after 3 p.m. requires preparation for deposit, but shall be recorded the next business day. But then earlier in the procedure or policy, it says if there's cash in excess of 1,500, it needs to be deposited. So this then goes on to say cash not deposited daily should be held in a secure location such as safe, vault, or locked filing cabinet. I would prefer that I don't know how secure we could really have something in it. That's, if it's a large cash amount. So like, I would prefer it would be safekeeping at the bank.
So we would basically eliminate number 4.
Yeah, and maybe, so if that's the route that we're choosing to go, that we put something in stating like, cash received, if it's in excess of $1,500 after 3 p.m. needs to be stored for safekeeping.
Well, it can still go to the bank. 'cause
You can
still
actually
make
go
it-
to the Dropbox that night. There's.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yes, there could still be yeah, we could,
Yeah.
but I don't know, are we still open evening hours?
There's one day a week, Wednesday, we're open
open
till
till
6.
6.
But
Okay.
see, that in my view, closing the drawer out at either 3 or 4, we can make it 4 instead of 3. That 2 hours, if we take in more than $1,500, another drop needs to be made.
And actually like close it out and
Close
bounce
it out.
it into
Yeah,
it.
it needs to be,
Okay.
but the goal is, I think, I don't wanna have any cash in excess of 1,500 in there. I would
Right.
eliminate number 4.
Yeah,
Okay,
And then I would change it, I would probably recommend we change from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, because the bank is open till 5. And now with the way the system works, the deposit can be completed in like 15 to 20 minutes.
okay, so then when we change number 3 to all cash received after 3 requires preparation for deposit, do we
Okay.
strike the shall be recorded next business day? And just say,
Well, okay. It will be recorded the next business day in our bank account, because if it's in the Dropbox. The deposit happens at 9 in the morning. So
don't they,
it's out of our
don't they go
office.
backwards on
I was trying to write the policy
it? We did with the bank.
that it's,
Yeah.
so the software sets the date. So in order to get the software to date it
It's got to
that
close.
day, it has to close that day, where we've been having trouble. And deposits are held open and then it changes the date in the software.
So if we close it at 4 and get the deposit on that day, it will happen the next business day. The issue is the cash doesn't have to remain on site though.
Correct.
You know what I mean? You make the deposit and
Yes.
you go back and know that you have that much of a deposit. And then you have to add that to the next day. You'll actually have 2 deposits on the Wednesday or Thursday morning.
So that's why I wonder if potentially we look into the option to just have the safekeeping, so the bank doesn't open it and process it.
That's fine.
They-
That work, I mean, that
I
actually
don't
works.
know, Marianne, what are your thoughts on that? So,
I was just going back a little bit in the conversation, because the state RSA says that cash in excess of 1,500 is deposited. So my whole point of putting in number 4 there, saying cash not deposited has to stay locked up. That's because it's less than 1,500.
Oh,
So are we gonna
okay, so that makes sense.
Okay.
supersede it and just say we're putting all of our money in the bank every night?
I think it's a little, the way it's written right now is a little too ambiguous, because it does say that, but then it also says like, okay, cash after 3, you have to prepare it for deposit. And if it's not deposited, hold it in a secure location. So to me, if I was reading this, it would be open for interpretation. Does that mean 1,500 has to go and be deposited at 3, and then anything else I can just hold on to for the next day regardless of amount?
It would have to be after 3 o'clock, it still would have to be, if it's in excess of 1,500, it still needs to be deposited.
I think it just needs to
Clear
clearly say
that,
that. That's the only thing, just so, because. Yeah,
making the update.
Okay, so did we want to change it for 4 o'clock then? Cause that's usually when we close.
I don't know that I have one.
Like, I was
Preference.
just trying to give our department enough time to go through the closeout process. But if,
Well, the other thing is even if they went there, if they were there at 5:05, they're putting it in the Dropbox, it's still the deposits made. It just can't be in town hall. Big issue is getting it out of town.
Right.
Yeah, getting in there into the bank.
So I think the 4 o'clock works because it works for all but one day.
so number 2, all cash stores will be prepared for deposit at or by 4 p.m. I'll update number 3 to 4 p.m. as well.
And it's not an issue if it's posted in the system as today, but not credited to the bank until tomorrow.
So number 3, I'll delete the part saying go to the next business day, because we're gonna put all the money in the bank at the end of the night, so there's no cash in town hall. So all cash received by the treasurer / town clerk tax collector office after 4 p.m. still requires deposit to be made that night.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then if, on number 4, if you want to, just for a clarification, you could say all cash not deposited less than $1,500 can be stored in the in-house overnight. To just add the 1,500, even though it's another place.
But are we comfortable that there's a secure place to store that? I mean, $1,500 is not a lot, but it's still, taxpayer funds. Is there somewhere?
I mean, it says in the policy and then the rule, it was like a locked file cabinet, which is what we were doing. It's just that, we don't have $37,000 in there, we have 1,500.
And we're sure that the filing cabinet is fireproof.
Yes,
Okay.
It's
And the-
fireproof,
the
and it's in a locked office.
Okay, and the key to get into it's under dual control.
yes.
Okay, because just for the safety of employees, if there's ever a discrepancy in the cash, I want to be able to backtrack and say this key was always under dual control. One person couldn't have accessed it.
Right.
Okay. Those are the only questions I have.
Are we sure it's under dual control?
Well,
There's 2 people.
there's 2 people that have access. It's not dual control, like what
Okay,
you've
so
been
it
doing.
has-
It has to have both people do it.
Yeah.
We don't have that
I
situation.
think that you.
We can make
should.
that happen.
I think that you should, that the key itself requires 2 people to actually physically get to it. Because if there's ever a discrepancy and we say, well, Chet was here early in the morning at the same time then that all fingers point
So
to you, so
that would
I don't
be a-
wanna put you in that, or anyone in
That would be in a lockbox that you have to have 2 people key in their codes to get there or something like that.
Correct.
So
And do we have that?
we do not have that. We can make that happen.
What happens if that person's not in that particular day? Or
Well,
vacation or
those
something like
are
that,
the-
so you run into problems.
Well, the other we could have it where 3 people have access, because the treasurer
Yeah.
obviously is to cover the whole thing, so we could have 3 people and 2 of
And
which
2
have
have
to
to be
work
there.
it. Yeah,
So is that technology actually enough?
I don't know, I'm gonna find out.
Can I help?
For
That's-
keypad, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, you can get that on Amazon and
Right.
and secure it to the wall, yeah.
Can I help?
I
So
don't
the
know.
first thing, instead of the times, can you just say end of day, so if they change their hours or something, you don't have to change your policy? The 2 thing could be a lockbox inside a file cabinet where I have the key to the lockbox and you have the key to the file cabinet, you don't have to go high tech.
Well, but that.
And then
that
if you don't
becomes an
have
issue.
this, if you don't, and the third thing, if you don't have the other person, just deposit it in the Dropbox, and it's not a problem.
Well,
If it's
I-
$700, you
I
don't have
would
to wait
prefer
15
we
to deposit.
always deposit in the Dropbox.
Yeah.
Every single, there's no reason to hold it. Other than creating a deposit. See, if we have a situation that close out at 4 o'clock. But we're open till 6 because we want to get the deposit in the bank.
Yeah.
You know, if we're closing out at 6 and we do have a dual person set up now where one person is preparing the deposit, one person is. Printing all of the reports and this thing for the day and another person's preparing the deposit. That we won't be able to do after 6 o'clock. So we would like to do that at 4 where we have the 2-person
Mhm.
process and then the other stuff can be dropped. And I really like. The option of the lockup and not an actual deposit at the bank.
The red bag.
And we talked a while ago about the lighting over there, someone was not comfortable with the lighting where you do the night drop at the bank, has that been remedied?
At the bank, I don't know the answer to that.
This was a conversation
Yeah.
a couple of months, a month or 2
I think it
ago.
was the street lighting if you're.
There was a
walking.
street lighting in general, we talked about getting
Yeah.
back up to.
You can do the deposit from your car, you don't have to even get out.
Yeah, but.
There's, the lighting at the bank is sufficient, it's the street lights.
Okay,
That were, yeah, but everything.
we're gonna see somebody walking up on you.
I can chime in on that. It's the lights on the back of the building, the town offices.
Well, and we're having an electrical problem. It's not a bulb problem. We now know we
Okay.
gotta get some electrical work done. So that's in process.
And I'll leave you with one more thing, as a military person who was overseas. You don't wanna do the same routine every day, cause you make yourself a mark, so there's that too. Like, if I know you're gonna make a deposit at 4:26 every night. You're an easy mark, so just
Well,
keep that in
the
mind.
good thing is the town office does. The other days, like 2 days it closes at noon, so they're happening at
I-
1 o'clock.
I just wanted to drop that
Happening
on,
less
it's,
time.
it's something to think about, that
Yep.
the world we're living in now is getting out of control.
Well, we also have the option and we can do it, like if we're starting to see some big deposits, we can have the police come by and visit.
100%. I agree.
And I think primarily we're getting a lot of checks.
Yeah, it's mostly checks. It's not like a big cash. Situation. It's just if you get them more than $1,500, which you have with one person paying a tax bill for $3,000.
Yeah.
We have to get it out of the town office. But we also want to get the checks out, like everything needs to get
Yep.
over there.
I don't know if it matters, but Monday and Friday, they're open 9 to noon and 1 to 4, Monday and Friday.
Yeah.
So she closes at 4.
So you got all that? Changes. Are you gonna print that tonight?
Well, if you have your setup, we can print it and you guys can approve it once you see it.
So number 2 was updated to all cash drawers will be prepared for deposit at or by 4 PM daily. Number 3, all cash received by the treasurer, town clerk, tax collector office after 4 requires deposit made that night in the bank night drop box. And then number 4 was updated, all cash not deposited daily less than $1,500 shall be held in a secure location such as a safe vault locked filing cabinet. And those were the edits made.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
I'll make a motion to approve as edited.
I'll second.
On in favor? Aye.
I,
Aye. We'll sign that as soon as you print it up.
thank you.
And thank you for that printer, it's vetted one.
All right, Carrie Ann, you're still up. With more good news for us.
Um, So we're continuing our financial transparency to the town and introducing our receivable balances, which we've not discussed in recent years. 2025 outstanding tax bills have increased 3% from previous years, and these are the unpaid monies. So with our tight cash flow that I'm always reporting on, this is one of the impacting factors. From 2019 to 2023, our average receivable balance for the unpaid bills for the month of September was 666,668. In September 2025, we have a receivable balance of 1,097,205. So this is a $430,000 difference. It's money less than what we collected in past years. And then 2021, 22, and 23, our balances were about 5% of the total billed property tax. And now this year for 2025, we're at 8% money that's outstanding. I gave you a slide that shows the last 10 years, so you can see how the trend. And then I broke it out for property tax, so you can see just the property tax portion. The entire accounts receivable balance for September includes liens, water, sewer taxes that are outstanding. So that's why there's two different columns. And then I showed you the net property tax for that year. And when you take the receivable balance, divide it by the net property tax times 100, that's how I got the percentage. And you can see how 2016, we were at 7%, and it stayed at 7% for 4 years. Then we dropped down to 5% for 3 years. And now we're at 8% outstanding, which for our small cash flow amount, that's 430,000 that could be in our bank to cover October and November bills.
And we know what's causing that change.
We believe, speaking with our tax collector, she was diligent about sending out notices, late notices at 60 or 90 days. And then certified mail for lien notices. So we think, just getting in the practice of sending out regular reminders, with the interest payments should make a difference.
What does the state say is the best practice for doing that?
The Tax Collector Association actually had a 300-page manual online, which our past collector pointed me to in our conversation. And it did have all of that laid out, when to do what notices. We even had letter templates.
And we have not been doing that recently. No.
When Chet checked, it sounded like we were told that we haven't been doing that. And then the last slide, I just converted all those percentages into dollar amounts. So you can see the first issue property tax bill in past years. At year end, we usually had just around 200,000. And right now, for our first issue property tax bill, we still have 415,000 outstanding. So it is turning into a significant amount, which is impacting our cash flow.
You figure out lost interest on that too? Never mind interest charges.
I have it in the spreadsheet.
Yeah. I don't need it now.
Okay, yeah.
I don't expect you to pull it out of the top of your head. I'm impressed by your financial prowess for the.
Very. So have we attempted to collect, have we done anything beyond mailing the first bills out? Nothing, and how long?
That's my understanding. Well, the bill was mailed out for June 1st. The due date was July 1st. September 1st was 60 days. And we also didn't do this last December 1st when those bills were due, that carried over. We just have not been notifying taxpayers that they've missed a payment, that there's interest accruing, and all of those things. So I think we have a twofold problem. One is taxpayers, they're not getting any mail about being late, just they're not they don't realize, they forget, where we are. And also it's accruing additional penalties for it.
And it's the responsibility of our tax collector to do this?
Yes,
Okay.
according to that manual.
I would
And
make,
and this is the practice. More than, I guess, more than 2 years ago now, just over, this practice was happening in town as well, at that time.
I would make a motion that we reestablish late notices for the guidelines put forth by DRA.
I'll second.
I feel like we shouldn't have to have a notice if this is the best practice and an expectation of the job, but I mean, a vote, but I will, not a notice, sorry, a vote, but I will.
I mean, my thing is we just want to,
Only
I think
because it's an elected
the
position.
select board needs to say this needs to happen, and we have to then find the process to make it happen.
Right.
We don't have the tax collector is an elected position.
So what I think I'm saying is, I absolutely agree with the motion. I just don't even think that we should have to make said motion, but yes, I'm going to vote in favor of it because.
Maybe we can reinforce the issue by making this motion.
Yeah.
All in favor?
I-
The only other thing would be of any help in our weekly newsletter. Put in there a notice that there are uncollected taxes that are costing the town operational losses. See if that,
So,
And debt service.
Yeah.
But those.
yeah, I mean, some of these people read a newsletter before they go get their mail.
But people should know that they haven't paid their own taxes. But I think it may help the public better understand why we're in a position where we're having to advance funds from a TAN every year. So. It's
I don't know if
not,
that's a newsletter item, but I think we should look at it for 10 report.
yeah, because that,
I mean, I don't think the newsletter should substitute sending out notices and.
No.
Right.
No, I'm just saying in addition to at least maybe we can wake up a few of them.
or,
Maybe they're back from vacation, say now that we need to look at taxes.
yeah, or, if it helps even a few people understand that we're not the select board just recklessly spending money. If there are reasons why some of the
Right.
things are in play. John, did you have a question or something?
No, I think it'd be best practice, to support a best practice. And I mean, you really don't have to vote on it, just say, you agree with what Carrie Ann said, that
Yeah,
support the best practice, and this is what we wanna do, I mean. Just to let you guys know, I mean, it's just informational.
Well, our vote maybe will help put somebody.
I
people on
understand, that, I
notice.
understand, I agree. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Jump in.
You're not even a resident.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I live in Rockville, above Tractor Barn. And there's a nice scarecrow at the base of my driveway.
Near crosswalk.
Oh, no, actually, no, down, as you come beyond Dunkin' Donuts down the hill.
Does he have a mustache?
I tell you, that's
Getting off topic.
not a great one.
Right. Anything else, Carrie Ann? Thank you.
So I'm next.
You are next.
Yes, before we start this, I'm expanding out, going from 1 item to 3 items. Is that all right with the select board as I
It is.
present it? Okay. Let's start out with the water project. This morning we chased down our engineer. He's been tough to find. They've, recently been bought out by a large European firm called Verdantis. It's no longer Horizons, and I think Carrie Ann and Chet both know that, because they're chasing them down to get paid for any projects that were previous to that. So finding him has been difficult, so we had to go chase him down at his house while he was in the showers, and we dragged him out and said, yep, this is what we need to do. So, and Chet didn't believe me, but it's the truth, you can ask Mason. He's 95% complete with the planning and engineering on these projects. But he's in a conundrum about how to put them out to bid. And that's, I think, comes down to what you guys want to do and what Chet wants to do. Basically, we're looking at 3 projects. We're looking at from the water plant to the tank is project one. And project two would be from School Street to Depot Street, the old line replacement.
Say that one again, John.
Okay, from School Street to Depot?
Yep.
That's the 1895 pipe that sits in the ground. It's right in front of your bank, matter of fact, that you get your water out of. So,
That's the one that broke most recently.
actually, right in front of Methodist Church, yes, yeah.
Okay.
So that would be project two. The third point is the replacement of all the lead services that are on that. And that doesn't include just the lead services, it's anything that's lead attached. So we assume that anything is on that old pipe has lead goosenecks.
So that's that same section?
It's that same section. So there's 15 of them there. And then an additional, basically 18 that are around the town. That are at various places that we've been into, that actually we've recorded where are non-compliant, anything that isn't other than copper. That we have to replace. And that's phase three. He wants to put them all together. And it's up, and if the hard thing about that is that it's three different things going on at once. With one contractor, and I think that's really gonna limit our
These are
time.
more than one payment.
Well, that's another thing.
Separate funding sources.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we have two funding sources in this.
I'd be very leery about wanting to group them into one. with two
Exactly,
funding sources.
that's my thing. I would rather see three. I'd rather see one from the water plant to the tank, that's A. Then you look at the second one, your B, the School Street to Depot Street. And then all the other services would be the third prop. As we put it in the three ends of it, because each one of them comes from different sources.
So that's actually making it into four, right?
Yeah, well, it's in three or four, however you wanna look at it. So, I think, especially from our behalf, because it'll drive poor Carrie Ann crazy. Because what happens is that we get money from our funding source. They send the check, and then it has to be allotted to that project. If you keep it separate, it's easier on her behalf.
Yes,
And that's the thing, by putting it all together, it'll be a problem.
it could be a nightmare because you put the new line in under one fund. You do the incorporation for the other fund.
Exactly.
If the same company, if it goes as one, are they gonna keep the records for the funding side of it that we need?
Yeah, there is a lot that goes along with it. There's other parameters that go along with it. We have to pay America funding, we have to do Davis-Bacon Act. There's a lot of things that get played into it. So by doing it three separate ways, it'll make it easier from every aspect of money
Would
wise.
it potentially be two, though?
It could be
School Street- School Street Depot and replacement of services on that same strip is all pretty much one.
But the
But those are
problem
two
is,
separate funding
Those are
sources.
two different funds.
Yeah.
The lead service lines is the one, that's the one that you kind of break off. If you were gonna combine the other two by funding source, you'd be doing the two mains. And that.
yeah, that's it gets kind of hinky when we get into that.
But you're not gonna go and replace the line and then dig everything up again and replace the lid.
Oh, no, we're gonna try to do it as much as we can at the same time.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
okay.
so, and we found that out when we dug in front of your place at the Methodist Church. There's 2 feet of asphalt, and under that, there's 16 inches of macadam. So the road is that thick, right there. I mean, we couldn't believe it when we dug. And we just got cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, and we got down to the bottom. I mean, well. But that's, if we had to dig that up and replace that, the state would be all over us. And right now, they have a new policy, and I'll give you this a little statement. Anything that we take out of their road bed, we have to replace in kind with 10 times better. And then not on top of that, we have to get rid of all the material as hazardous waste. And this happened just in Plymouth. They changed their program. Mike has put in a suggestion that we actually drill from basically Tucker's property on the left side of that road, all the way down to Evans's.
We talked about, you and I were talking about this drilling under the sidewalk.
Yes, so that's, I think.
So then the only excavation will be the incorporation and tie line.
The tie lines, so that basically you'll have a hole that's every 30 or 40 feet. And it would be a small hole, I would say about,
Well, how do you get to the other side of the street? You
well,
drill
you
back.
drill those across, and there's only 5 of them on that side, if you think about it. You only have, 1, 2, yeah, 3, 4, there's just 5, including the church.
Even the empty lot,
And actually, we just did the Methodist church, so we're all good on
even
that.
the empty lot though?
The
What
empty
is-
lot, there's nothing there right now, so that's another one that we may have to look at.
That empty lot,
George.
I think we need to make sure we have a curb stop over
Yes,
there
I
for
agree.
that.
Or-
Because it'll be paid for under this program,
Yes.
otherwise we're going to foot the bill.
Yeah, I understand, I agree with it.
But the directional to bore them under,
Mhm.
you only have a hole where you're receiving and a hole where you're boring from. That you have to get down in, so you're not trenching the state road, you're not having to do the deposit of all that material that they classify.
Remediation.
So how do they determine 10 times better?
That's what I was gonna
Well,
ask.
they do, I mean, you'd be surprised. You
Oh, it's
consider-
ridiculous dealing with.
Well, I mean, 10 times better than
Yeah,
than
they
pavement
did, they
is
did
what,
that, to
concrete?
Plymouth, if you've been to Plymouth, they did, University or whatever his name is there. They basically increased his contract by almost $2 million by doing this.
I'm just saying, what's the scale of 10 times better than?
Well, they basically give you a grade, and the stuff you dig up is what we call Canaan nuggets. I mean, we got rocks that are.
Well, you just said it's 24 inches of pavement.
Yeah,
so-
but we had rocks underneath too, we had lovely, we had one that was probably 36 by 18, 36 by, right near the pipe.
But the thing that the state is missing the boat on,
Mhm.
when you replace with a higher quality material, you now change the drainage of that material. You are inviting, you're going to get variations of frost in the spring. That's why whenever you dig, you always put in kind back in whenever possible. You can pad a pipe. But as you know, you always put that material that's usable back in there. Because if you take out a clay base and you fill it with hard pat, as soon as frost comes in, you're going to have two different actions.
It'd be a large savings if we do drill it, because the thing is, we won't just disturb
I'm
any of the
okay with that,
road.
I'm just curious how the scale of.
Yeah,
they
it'll
determine
be,
how they determine.
disturbance wise, it'll be minimal, I mean, and because there's not many services along that stretch, I think totally, there's 16 or 18. Basically, in that stretch, and the most of them are on the left side as you're traveling in, the old Church Street into town.
The only thing I would say, if we have to deposit, get rid of anything you dig up as a hazmat material, I would contact.
But
Lebanon
see, the
and-
interesting thing that we're in the right of way, but not on the roadbed.
Yes,
It's only on the roadbed that they force you to do that. So with the
And-
right of way, they don't force it.
no, but if we're in that situation, you should contact Lebanon, cause that is a line landfill.
Oh, yeah, I understand that.
And offer to haul it into Lebanon
Yeah.
for them to use as cover.
But I mean, what it did to Plymouth is absolutely, it basically doubled the contract.
So that's the side that the storm drains are on?
Yeah, to be the side with the storm drain.
So how does that affect, with the storm drain
Well,
manholes and all that? How does
well,
that affect
basically,
water?
you can literally, that travels, it's like a snake.
Yeah,
You can travel.
but
You
you have
guys-
to go that much deeper because of that?
Yeah, you
John?
can go deeper and then come up, but I mean, it's fairly, like what we did out at give you the idea that what we did out at the, like,
Yeah, I
we
understand.
control it down to 6 inches, he got it controlled so that it traveled. And he brings it up and he can go sideways, left, right, however.
I'm just thinking those storm drains are already 6 feet down, you have to go down
Most of those
12 feet?
are down at 3 feet, believe it or not, the
Really?
one that's right out in front of her,
Most of those are shallow.
they're very shallow. The deepest one that we have is right at Datro's old property, Nelson's. And basically, that's the deepest, that's probably 4.5, 5 feet, but we're not anywhere near that.
No.
And the one near the Evans.
Yeah, Evans is, yeah,
We're not
all the
allowed-
gasoline goes across the street.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's,
so-
you know,
But it's only at 4 feet too.
I understand, but
Yeah,
it's like,
that's-
the thing is, you know, is that something we can be addressing in this
Oh,
process?
that's exactly, that we have to deal with the tailings.
I know.
So.
And we should, yeah, you're gonna have problems downtown,
Yeah, we know that,
but water line should be down 5.5, 6 feet
6 feet.
minimum.
But another thing is you're off the road bed. And that, you get a little more flexibility with the depth. Versus
So-
the road bed, it's gotta be down 7, 8 feet.
All right,
Is there anything we need to decide?
I just wanna leave that and let you guys think about that. I want you to think about how we wanna look at this. And I
so,
think when I look at it from our perspective, the engineer wants to put everything together, it's easier for him. And it's not easier for us.
No.
I mean,
Well, from a construction perspective, you'd like it to be one contract, cause you got the same guy doing it while he's sitting there. The issue is. There's actually very significant differences in the reporting requirements between the federal money, the state money.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really convoluted, and then you're relying on the contractor to break it down for you correctly.
and then they don't have the expertise to do it. I mean, they were depending on the
do we
engineer.
have any real concerns with Horizon being bought out and? Because they
I
have
don't,
good
Verdant,
portion
I've
of all
dealt
of
with
our con-
Verdantis before, but I wanna see how the transition goes.
Cause they have all of our contracts.
Oh, I know that, that's.
Bridges and everything.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
Bridges HEB.
Bridges,
HEB, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the reality is, at this point, we wanna get the construction documents. And then the question is, if we have concerns and we wanna make changes, it would be when we move to the on-site engineers and reviewing and as-built.
Yeah, we can separate that out if you want.
Where we are right now, it would be a huge nightmare because. If we had to change engineers and,
I'm not
until we get the bid
suggesting, I'm just-
documents.
I'm asking for confidence level of.
I would say I'm confident we'll get our bid documents out, and once we get to that, then we can evaluate where we are.
He
Has
has,
this been any of the reasons for the holdup? Because when you and I met with him back in May.
Yeah.
He was gonna have the design aspects all done by the end of the month.
but this transition is really put them in.
That's why I wanna
A
know. is it
lot,
the
right?
transition
That's why I came to you guys and said this, so basically, they stopped all work. And then basically waited until the transition went through.
Are we in jeopardy of losing funding of any over this? 'Cause of the
We're
delays?
not, we've locked down the 780. That was my next portion of it. The lead service money, we have all locked down, the paperwork's all in, ready to go, it's gonna be on your desk probably by November. To give you an idea,
Sure.
the 1.47 million CDFA money, the EPA community grant money. Because of the way this federal government does their transitioning,
Yep.
the September 30th is their end of their fiscal year.
Mhm.
They take that money and they flip it into the following year. We talked to,
We got flipped into after September 30th.
yeah, so we then basically, then we can reaccess it.
Right.
That's the way they work. And she told us that, the girl from the EPA.
And we have had multiple meetings with multiple agencies and
Okay,
an assistant. We actually have somebody who's, they're working for free, helping us work, navigate the process.
University of Southern Maine.
Yeah.
Andrea Berry, yeah,
Yes, they're helping us
helping
navigate
us.
the process.
with the process.
how does Southern Maine fit into us?
Oh, because of the,
Federal money, that's.
it's federal free. It's free money, so that's the
It's,
thing.
and it's probably part of their program, so.
Oh, I know, yeah, it's part of what they put out for their contract.
Yeah.
So we expect probably, I'm gonna say November, December. All we have to do, all he has to do is put in a sheet of paper, literally, on a work plan, and that's it, and everything else is locked up.
Okay,
So the only other thing beyond that is. The monies that we expended for the engineering, whether we. Basically, if we get it reimbursed. That's the thing, but we use, all that money came from the SRF, from the water line at the water plant.
The issue, and we'll just call it out. When we were doing the original applications and hiring the engineers.
Yep.
And doing all of that, we were dealing strictly with SRF, the state revolving fund. The federal government has different, what's the not acquisition. what's
Oh,
the-
different guidelines, basically.
Different guidelines on
Yeah.
how you obtain things.
Mhm.
They're not sure, or as me, if we have to go back through a. Procurement review,
Exactly, exactly.
we may not be able to use the excess SRF monies as match funds. That's what we're waiting to find out. So that could be a 200 and something.
But that's still,
$1,000.
we still use the money from the.
We're using the money, but we may not count. We may have to
Yeah.
verify. Like we might have to do a little match issue. So we'll have to work that out.
Yeah.
That's the only glitch in this process.
And she said it might go through, but it may not go through.
Right, they will determine whether we need a procurement review, and then it means we have to go back to when the original intake project was done and show that we procured it in a way that the federal government likes it.
Mhm.
That would be our difficulty.
So anything that we do on that, with federal money, we have a procurement process.
Right.
So we have to follow all the guidelines, put it out to bid properly, bond it, I mean, it's just that. we
Per
have
their
to-
rules, we did it per the state rules. We didn't.
Yeah, we did it-
We don't know if we met the Fed rules.
Okay,
Any other questions on that?
where are we with water meters?
Water meters, okay, that's the next thing. So I'm gonna read probably the end of next week. And then we're gonna replace 100 meter, and I should have brought one with me. We're gonna replace the readers on the top. I'm gonna say 3 to 5 weeks on that.
To replace all of them?
All of them, yeah,
Yeah,
it's not it's not the meter, all I'm doing is replacing the head on the top.
Right.
The reader head. So the reader head is what they call cellular technology. So basically, it links up once a day with a computer and gives a reading to that computer.
Yep.
And then it goes to an office desktop in the office and says, well, this guy used this much water. So that I won't be out reading anymore, it'll go directly to the office.
And
And
that'll
the
be
homeowners-
all the heads?
What's that?
That'll be all the heads?
That'll be 110 of them. We have 10 out there right now that we're using right now. And then that 100 will go on, and then we're gonna purchase another 100 or 80, whatever it is, works out to 86 or 87. Put on,
To be the final amount?
exactly.
And
And
The other-
it'll all happen in 3 to 5 weeks? Or
Yeah, they're easy, it's easy to do.
110 plus 87?
The 110, no, that's 3 to 5 weeks for the 110.
When for the 87?
The 87, we'll order them and find out when they come in. I wanna get these on and then we'll order the next group.
and the homeowners will have, if they download the app, will actually see their usage on a daily basis if they want to, so.
Or
it'll always
quarterly,
be
or
there.
whatever, however they wanna set it up.
And so, once that's done, the 110 when will we be caught up on water bills?
That actually did,
Well, technically, when he
when I do my
starts
next
putting
reading.
these new heads on,
Can he reply?
That's all right. When we get the new, here's what it is, when I do the next reading,
Yeah,
at the end of this next week coming up.
Yeah.
We'll be all caught up, we'll be current,
With the readings or the billing?
well, that's the
the
reading,
billing,
yeah.
the next bill is going out on October 13th. That was for the next quarter, and then the quarter that we're doing at the end of this week would go out 1 month later, so it'll go out in
November.
November.
that'll be through September
Yes.
then?
Yeah, that'll be
In
through
November,
September,
and
that'll be
we'll
current,
Then,
and then the last quarter will be December 31st.
this is extremely frustrating.
I understand that.
I know it's because of software and the
Yeah.
whole thing changed, but it is extremely frustrating for users to be this far behind on water bills.
Sure.
And I understand the issues, John and Jet and Ann, but it is very frustrating.
I understand.
I have a question. With these new heads that you have to
Mhm.
put in, who's footing that bill? Is it just the water and sewer users that have to pick up the cost of that?
That would be, I think
It's in the water system.
it's in the water system.
And so you're confident with putting 110 in and getting access to 110 residences in
Well, that's the
3 to 5 weeks?
Yes, I think we can do that.
Or is it a 2-man job? Is it a
Two-man
one-man
job, Mason and I.
2-man job to do each one?
No, one man job.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long is the process to switch out?
I'd say 30-35 minutes.
Okay.
Per each.
All right. Are we sending out some kind of notification that we're?
That's why I wanted to get your approval first, that's the thing, so.
Yeah.
Send it up, and this Fridays.
All right.
Item 2, okay. We have a cyanobacteria at the lake. We went out and sampled this morning. We're waiting for the results, we have initial results. So we know it's in the lake itself. But we don't know whether it's in the intake or at the plant.
How was it discovered, John?
We sample with the state every Tuesday. when we get cold or warm at night. And that's when it seems to happen at this lake up here. It's this, it's like it looks like a greenish haze. And it sits like a foot below the water. It's not right on the surface of the water. You can actually see it as you travel over. The state just sent samples out this afternoon to North Carolina. We will know probably by Thursday afternoon what the true results are. They basically look at it through a microscope.
Yep.
And they can see it, but they can't quantify it. We're gonna have it quantified. So I'd like to have someone actually put out a notice that we don't want children or animals on the beach until we get the results. I mean, it's not an official statement, but it's something from Canaan.
Yep.
Because it can basically.
The way we do it is, it looks like, it appears that we have a cyanobacteria
Yeah.
outbreak and waiting for testing, but
It just,
it's suggested that beach usage is not done.
Why are we children? Why not?
we actually, children or their digestive systems are affected more than
I
adults.
think we should just say it.
I think just people in.
People-
general.
Okay, we can do it,
pets.
people, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's not too many people swimming this time of year anyways.
So I just have 2 or 3, that's
Yeah.
the best time to swim, but that's.
New Hampshire rates. And nothing is coming in through the intake yet that we're.
Nothing that we're aware of, so I get the raw water coming in the intake and then they measure the outgoing, so it's a big thing, they wanna measure it. At the sand filters, because they feel the sand filter is the best treatment option for cyanobacteria. And they're looking at that right now.
And it'll be interesting where it's usually in that 12 inches. of
Yeah,
top
it's in the
line.
column, and I'm down 18 feet.
Yeah, you're down 18 feet
Yeah.
instead of where it used to be only down 5.5, 6.
4.
Well, you got to level away.
How's the level of like?
It's down almost 3 feet.
Right now?
Oh,
I haven't been up there, so.
We were out there this afternoon, the 2 twin big rocks are that far underwater.
Off the beach.
So I mean, it's kind of interesting with people taking their boats out this fall.
Yeah.
I mean, the water is down significantly.
Anything else?
Okay, all right. Item 3. See,
Long
and then I go to
night for John.
No, I know, all right. So I don't know if you remember, about 5 weeks ago, we had a power outage. I know you guys forget about that, so I can remember it clearly. The Enfield main service station lost power and they shut it down. And every whole area around us, even Co-op for the first time ever, they kept their power. But Canaan and Enfield were shut down. So what they did, an hour later, they brought Enfield back online. But where Mascoma High School is, or right there's a switching station. Well, they kept that off for another 4 hours. And what they did was they sent out pulse power to see what problems were. And the problem was they sent it out all over 3 legs. And the 3rd leg caused a problem. All my systems run on 3-phase. And that 3rd leg at Depot Street got wiped out. So anything that
The
was,
pump station over here?
the pump station that's right over here.
Yeah.
So anything that had a neutral and low voltage got fused. And under the old technologies, under relays and switches and everything else, it's not a good thing. Because it depends on switching back and forth. So give you an idea, it's like having a car that turns left when you tell it to turn right. You turn the wheel this way, well, the car goes this way. And that's what's been happening. Since then, I've been running on a manual for the last 5 weeks. My wife thinks I'm crazy. Every 4 hours they go over to the lift station to keep it running. It's in manual mode right now. We've had electricians in there, we've had the manufacturer tells me I'm crazy. But we know what the thing's doing. The technology that we have there is basically 40 years old. To give you an idea, and it's in tough shape. You know, it had run for all these years. And I put the VFDs on back in 17, 18. And it's been running great, but the problem is right now with this control panel being out of whack. I'm having some major issues with it. Okay, and I'm gonna incur some expenses, so we may have to turn this thing into a hybrid. Basically, until we can repair it fully. To give you an idea, that when this thing was installed, they were supposed to put anodes. And you know what it's a big chunk of zinc that's about 30 pounds attached to it, so it won't rot. Well, the whole bottom of it's rotted out. And then the lift tubes that are in there, and I was showing Chet the lift tubes, he came over and saw it. The lift tubes are, I mean, you can crumble them with your hand. That's how bad it is, and it's because they didn't use a sand on it. Just a simple thing to attach it to the metal. And then you wouldn't have any problems, and at that point, it was law that they needed to do it, and they didn't follow proper procedures. Even when they put the tank in, the tank basically up in the top of the hill at Chiefs Drive has 36 anodes in it. And this all it needed was a 25-pound piece of zinc, and they never put it in.
So who never put it in?
The contractor that installed it. And the funny thing is, this one and the one in Warner were installed at the same time, by the same contractor out of Massachusetts. And neither of them have anodes. And what it's done is it's the bottom floor and the lift pipes that go into the material are all rotted out.
And so you're talking in the pump itself?
No, in the pump has a pipe that goes up to it.
Yeah.
So that it's crucial to how the pump operates.
Okay.
And in that by that rotting out, it has to pull vacuum on that column. It's an antiquated system that I never agreed with, so.
My question is, having been on the budget committee and select board for 15 consecutive years now, this is the first time I'm hearing of
Well,
some antiquated equipment, and I don't understand why we haven't like had it in a plan for replacement.
Well, I agree with you there. I mean, my focus was on the water and doing the water. I started the whole water thing in 16 and 17. And then we kind of hoping we could get to upgrading this, and we had a plan with the EPA. They were gonna replace, when we did all the upgrades down here in downtown, they were gonna replace the lift station. And we did bidding and we did the whole 9 yards. I brought prices up and the whole, as we looked at it, to replace that.
To the budget committee? and
Not to the,
CIP?
because where that was gonna go under a grant, was the grant that Mike had looked at, it was through the EPA.
If you say that name, you don't even need to.
Oh, I know. But actually, they came to us back in 18, in November. And
Well, just, I mean, what else is out there that we don't know about that we could potentially have to dump tons of money into? I guess that's it.
Well, the issue is. The one thing about this pump station, you know, the whole thing is shot. I mean, it's gonna need to be a complete replacement. The question is. At what point we're gonna have to be upgrading our treatment plant and our lagoons and things, and maybe changing the method, which would affect which pumps we put in now. It becomes like a. You know, the dominoes are now starting to happen, because if we. Know that 6-8 years from now, we're gonna have to change completely what we're doing with. Wastewater treatment. That's gonna change what pumps we're gonna put in, it's gonna change which pump station we put in, like all of those things are the piece. We're at a place where it's almost like. We need really to start spending some money getting an analysis done of what we're gonna have to need. What is our plan gonna look like, because we are the only, as far as I know, we're the only. Town in this state with a system that works like this, where we're actually pumping.
water, just great water.
Low BOD water. And the question is, does it become full effluent at some point? We get rid of the septic tanks and all of that goes away, and then we change the whole dynamic. We don't currently know where we are with that, and this is something we've been kind of talking about for a few months. But this pump station is definitely accelerating the conversation.
Well, we also need to figure out how we're gonna pay for it, because the users, I mean, I understand that they support the water sewer system, but.
The only way this is gonna work is either through grant, or financing, or a combination of the two. It's going to have to be spread out over time, because it's not gonna be cheap.
Right, and
And the issue is, the issue right now is we need to spend some money getting an engineer to evaluate it.
But we can't pass all of that cost on to 200 households in town, like, that's just not going to work. Like,
These are things we will have to talk to. The
Yeah.
first thing I would say that we need to start, we're not advertising for, we need to start looking at getting somebody to come in and get some prices to do an evaluation of our system to say, okay, this is what you're gonna have to do. This is how much time you have left. And this is how we're gonna spend the money. And then we're gonna have to come up with, how are we gonna finance this?
but we've been in the planning stages of the current water project for 5, 6
No, since
years.
17.
Yeah,
Okay, so.
Yeah, and then, but
what-
this came into play in 18.
Well, the
But
sad
what
part,
I'm saying is then how far out does that push this and how much money are we gonna invest into it?
a
in the
lot, we have
interim?
somebody going there every 4 hours.
Oh, no, that's
Yeah,
what,
that's not okay. John.
no, it's not, but let me give you an analysis. We can actually modify what we have there to run hybrid. So basically run a submersible on one side and run the pump on the other side. Use the submersible, which is a pump that is actually physically in the water. And then to pump up to the same area that we're doing right now. That'll give us the year to 2 years that we need to
So-
play.
That sounds great, but in my experience,
Mhm.
this town used duct tape on way too many things for too long and then we're paying the price now. So
the issue is, it's very disappointing that, and this is why getting the plan up quickly. When the funding has been available over the next 5 years, this should have been included, like we should have had information
Concurrently.
related to this. We've missed that window.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to look at what other options, and, you know, the one thing is because we're in a I'm gonna call it a virtually failed system. We may be able to get on a fast track somewhere. These are things we need to start looking at. We knew this was coming. Now, I didn't know about the pump station. That's new to me. But I knew we were gonna have to be looking at the whole system over time, and we're now being accelerated into
Well,
that.
we've always been told that the system is the best system you could put in place because of how it's designed with the individual septic tanks at the houses and. You know, the effluent going up to the upper range. I mean, that's been a long cry from our previous administrator. Was saying.
I mean, I've
that
never
it was
seen
a
a system
genius-
like this
It was
before.
a genius system is what he said.
The concept is, you know, it's interesting. It can work. It does mean you need less lagoon issues and things like that. But at the end of the day. This was kind of a made up system. We're going to have to be moving somewhere more conventional. We need. Off the shelf type stuff. We can't be doing custom systems.
did you know that John's going every 4 hours for 5 years?
No, this is the first I heard that.
That's me, I'm sorry, I'm, you know,
That's not healthy.
no, I know it's not healthy, but I'm here, that's.
Is it able to switch off?
Yeah, well, let's see, you have to know what you're doing, that's the hard thing, I mean,
Oh,
it's,
right, but having a single point of failure in town is not good either.
oh, I understand that. I
Make it to
understand.
understand what you're
Yeah,
doing,
yeah.
so that if you're sick and you can't make it every 4 hours, that it still functions and that you can have a break.
Yeah, I understand that, so that's what's,
Here's the biggest thing that I can tell you, irregardless of what the systems we've got in town are. The failure was that every system you put in, I don't care what it is, has a lifespan.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And nobody, it's working. It's not working. We had that discussion that I brought up here in our CIP about these concrete tanks at the houses. Have a lifespan.
they're all plastic.
They're still,
You know, they
Not
do,
all
I
of
mean,
them.
that's the problem, we've had several that failed, but not of the ones that they initially installed.
cause I know some of them are concrete still.
Yeah, there's several of them are, not all of them.
Just to speak to the lifespan, is there any chance to get recovery from the contractor that put them in without the anodes? With the anodes, they probably wouldn't be rotting out because it would have shorted everything out and it would have stopped the decay.
They had a 50-year life when we basically got into 30.
First thing we have to determine, find out if that company's still in existence.
Yes, do that.
No, I'm just saying, that's the first thing.
Yeah,
And I will say that. At this point, we're gonna have a very difficult time proving that is the only problem.
no,
So
but if
it's a situation where we can.
they might not pay
certainly-
100%, but they may pay something to help take the blow
They-
of that dollar amount off of us.
They won't do it voluntarily.
Oh, no, that's why we have courts.
Yeah, no, they're not cheap.
And
You know.
how much you gonna spend in court versus how much you gonna spend to make the repair.
We've already determined we've lost this lawsuit. Why don't we look into it and see
Yeah.
if they were supposed to put them in or not? And if they were, let's look at the next step. But if they weren't required to put them in, stop. We don't have a leg to stand on, but do something. We can't just decide we
And
lose.
is there any recourse back to the electrical company for
And I-
coming back
I-
on power like they
just
did?
Insurance,
Insurance claim?
insurance claim, I think would be the way to go. I know,
I mean, it's a short time fix because it's really not, but.
yeah, I mean,
more
it's what it's, basically, it's a panel that's about yay big. With probably 16, 18 different relays that are all high voltage.
So
They-
do we have, we would need an electrician to say this took damage because of the third.
Yeah,
leg. It had to
that's-
be-
yeah.
If we could get somebody to make that statement, we have an insurance claim.
Yeah.
So we haven't even pursued an insurance claim yet?
No, we have not.
We have not, that's the thing, I have to actually find out how it was damaged and what was damaged.
So is this the first time you're aware of it at all?
It's the first time I'm aware of it since I found out that the pumps had failed. I mean, we went over there, was it about a week ago?
A week ago.
That's the first I heard of it, when both pumps went down and Bob told me he was over there digging and
Setting the
picking up
pumps.
pumps and setting pumps and things, and I'm like, where did this come from?
Okay,
So I didn't know the panel had been damaged with this until the pumps failed.
So we need communication quicker.
I understand that, I've been lack of sleep. And 7
Right,
days a
but
week.
like the
Yeah, but that's-
of days
Yeah.
before you were up every 4 hours, it would have
Oh,
been
yes,
helpful,
it's-
because we don't want you to get to the point where you're at a lack of sleep, so.
We need to know when there's damage. Like, if the panel was damaged, we need to know, and we need to be looking at it then, that minute.
But it was hard to get electricians to look at this,
Well,
that's the thing, it took me several weeks.
we can also just get a mechanical engineer to come.
No, they know less than the electricians, so that,
Well,
yeah.
they know how the systems run.
Well, yeah, everyone knows.
What I'm saying is, you don't have to deal with this alone. This
Oh, I
is a
understand
team,
that, but the thing is I
resources, so we
didn't
need
want
to
anything
so-
going out in the Mascoma River, that's the key, and there's literally a dripway right behind where I am. That literally flows right to the river.
And we spent the better part of
Right,
2 or 3
after-
days shuttling effluent up to the plant. With
Yeah,
Stearns.
it came to the point where nothing would work, that was the problem, so we had to rebuild everything down into it. And I had Bob and Yui helping do
So
that.
again. Back to communication, John.
Yeah, I understand that.
What is the immediate damage other than you having to go there before?
There's no immediate damage, but the thing is, it can't run like this
I
long term, that's what I
So
want
how
to bring.
long? Are we
Um,
talking hours? Are we talking?
oh
days?
no,
Are we
it's gonna
talking-
be to actually modify this so that we can get it running. To a point where I don't have to be there, I'm gonna say a week to 10 days right now, and I have several people working on it right now. We've had people come and look at it,
But how did we have people come and look at it without Chet even knowing?
well, that was last week, I was there. Almost 24 hours a day for 4 straight days. I mean, I lived, eat, and everything else there.
Okay, so. I think each step that you take now has to be in conjunction with Chet,
Okay, I have
and
no
then
problem.
Chet will update us
Yeah,
and let us know, but
I agree. This is
Okay.
out of hand.
yeah.
okay, I mean, I can't let it go, I mean, that's the, yeah.
But-
yeah.
You
But
come across the street, you could tell me what's.
I
We
understand.
had, when we had the panel problem, we should have been dealing with it
yeah,
immediately.
so.
And you need to bring. Mason into the ability to
that's-
help you out, not
Yeah,
just
that's the,
be
yeah.
an observer.
Yeah, but it's a dangerous situation, because you're standing in 3 inches of water. You're dealing with a panel that's fully live,
Okay,
it has
Let's-
multiple voltages.
Let's.
Yeah, just tell them.
Yeah.
It's
no,
not, it's
I-
not OSHA approved, and I told the manufacturer that several times.
There goes plausible deniability.
Yeah, that's no plausible deniability, so that's the reason I want to put another person in that, I'm an old guy.
but
Can I ask you,
But yes,
can those panels be brought above ground?
Yes, we were looking for plug and play.
Yeah, because we went through that with Wetwell and
Yeah.
Enfield, that they put all of the contactors in the well.
I think Cindy had a
I
question.
just wondered, what is the scope dollar wise of what you're talking
Well,
about?
we looked at replacing this in 17, 18. And it was very substantial, I'm gonna say $400,000 to $500,000.
That's a big number.
So, but the thing is that the well itself is there and they built it. So it's similar to what they did in Enfield down near the bank, near Bar Harbor Bank. So it's stacked structures.
Yes.
So that if we remove the top structure, which is failing, and put a new concrete structure on top of it. Then we'll have something that's above ground and panels will be out of harm's way. And we won't have to worry in essence.
Okay, so I
So-
think what, oh,
Go ahead.
in my opinion, what happens now is. You are collaborating with Chet, he's gonna keep us posted.
Mhm.
He has a lot of experience with GPW stuff in the past, and I think he will know how to escalate things from here, and then we have an update at the next meeting.
Okay,
'Cause I'm not sure if
Yeah.
you keep telling us about all of the terrible things that we don't wanna hear and how you're sort of recklessly putting your life in danger, that that's gonna help right now, John. So
No, I
I think
understand
we
that.
probably thank you for the update and,
Thank you for the effort.
Be safe.
yeah, thank you for coming every 4 hours, Sean. You don't have to do this slow.
it doesn't run, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You have something that runs automatically and then the control panel basically gets.
How much tank do we have?
We have a day's. The tank and the pipes in the system will hold 32,000 gallons.
And that's how many days?
And that is a day,
Is it
day
that?
and 4
Well, my
hours,
question is,
a day and 4
why
hours.
are we running in the middle of the night if we can go 8 or 10 hours?
Wait, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing
I'm
it.
saying that you didn't, what I'm saying, there's no reason
I
to be
understand.
there in the middle of the night through this,
Right.
because
You also have reduced flow at night.
yes. So
Yeah, that's why I
so
can
you
let it
could-
go through the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, if you're running at 6 or 7 o'clock, you're good till 6 in the morning.
That's what I was doing at 8 and then back
Okay, well,
at
you,
6. Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying, like you saying you're going every 4 hours, I'm going, this doesn't make any sense, I know we have a full.
But it's
And I
every
know
4 hours during
and
the
we also
day.
had Stearns backing us up if we had to go.
How long does it take
Well,
to empty the system once it's?
About an hour and 15 minutes,
Okay.
220 gallons a minute.
So how are you gonna manage that and put all these meters in 3 weeks?
That's, I'm kind of hoping to get this, get it up, one side of it up, there's 2 pumps that are there. So basically, there's a force pump main and a backup pump. So then basically, I want to get one side of it going, so that it gives me that flexibility to do other things.
But so these meters, you have 100 to install in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You're gonna do probably at most with travel and lunch and breaks,
Yeah.
13 a day.
Probably,
But John's gonna be there
oh, no, we
It's
do,
2
in
people.
hours.
yeah, but,
It's just one, he said.
yeah, I can, that, I get, what I would do is after lunch, I break over to Depot Street. And do my thing at Depot Street, and then let it get going again, to cycle through. And then again, when I leave at 5:30, and I do it again.
The real big concern is. We have 2 pumps that are down, we have a backup, we had a backup pump, that's the whole point, you're supposed to have redundancy. We don't currently have any redundancy, so we're relying on this one that we're manually operating, and we're not running 2. Which is another risk, because if we have another issue, we're down again completely. So we waited until literally we have to put the finger in the dam to stop the leak.
I'm not putting my finger in that damn.
All right, well, thanks, John.
You should have probably started off with this good news first.
I could have started with the worst and go to the best, that's the thing, that's.
He's gonna make Goose Pond Road look good.
Yeah.
We can maybe use Goosebumps.
Oh, jeez.
Mike Reese will be here. All right, thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thanks for all your efforts.
No, that's,
Dangerous.
I apologize, I mean, you get that many hours in and,
Yep.
Yeah.
But again, you're not an island.
oh, that's fine.
I don't even know where to go.
Well, just to make you feel better, the job description update was just forgotten to take off the list, so we don't have anything for that.
Yes.
What about Goose Pond Road?
Goose Pond Road, Goose Pond Road, the engineering has been going on. Existing features and topographic field survey is complete for the whole $2.8 million mile stretch, 2.8 mile stretch. Million. Going to the moon. Wetlands delineations for the corridor are complete, boundary and jurisdictional areas have been located and identified. They're basically trying to finish the base mapping that would give us the overall plan. They're continuing to work on the stream crossings, which are the 5 major culverts and the one that's Hinkson Brook. So as they get those things permitted, we're now in the process of trying to schedule a environmental review with the New Hampshire DES, having a pre-application review. And hopefully, over the next month, they expect to be getting the permit requirements, having the meeting with them and then getting the permits applied for probably the end of October, beginning of November. So that we're ready for spring. Hopefully over the winter, we'll be able to do our bidding for the major items.
Who's doing the engineering work, HEB?
HEG is doing the engineering work for Goose Pond Road.
Yep.
So, and we are currently sending out notices to the butters. About all their crossings and things of that nature and letting them know where the appropriate time is that we're gonna be doing the work around their houses.
Do we have any minor paving jobs for next year planned besides that? I mean, I know we're not gonna get to paving next year at Goose Pond, but do we have any minor that are?
Currently, there is no minors planned. The next one that was on the list was for the following year was Blackwater.
Yeah.
And technically, depending on how the timing of the payments go, we may be able to reverse those and put that one in for next year. But I believe we will be ready. We will be pretty much ready for paving, right at the end of paving season, so it'll just.
Right, but next fall,
Yeah.
Really?
next
Well,
fall,
because the only thing that's happening with what we're doing is we have the 5 major culverts we have to put in.
Yeah.
Okay, and those are gonna go out to bid. We have a restoration of the existing Hinkson Brook culvert that we're gonna do, that we don't have to replace that one. And then there's just a paving project. The issue really from a timing perspective is the replacing of the other 50 culverts.
Right.
And we're gonna be doing a lot of those in-house. We also can bring in contractors, say, look, just give us a crew fee for the day. And every day they put one in and maybe we can, we can probably have those all done maybe by the end of August if we get an early start.
Do we know the actual number of those? You
It
said
was
50,
actually,
wasn't
Bob
50.
counted 50 at one
Sure.
time.
yes.
So that is progressing as expected and
Yep.
on schedule.
Okay. Okay. You're up.
Well, I'm going to hunt to Monica real quick. Because we can have a lighter moment. She's gonna talk about trick or treat.
WMUR would like to know what the hours are. Are we gonna go back to the 5 to 7 like we've done in the past, or?
I like that. What's Friday? Is it on a Friday this year?
It's on a Friday this year.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous, and we'll let
Thank
them
you.
know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna give you a couple of bridge updates. Grist Mill Hill Bridge.
Yep.
Basically, the engineering studies complete, the ERC meetings complete with DOT. They're in the process of getting their DOT geotechnical borings scheduled to get the rest of that completed to prepare, and they're basically working on their scope and fee for the next phase of the project. And this is the project that when they move to final engineering, if the alignment is chosen, that's the one that DOT preferred,
Mhm.
which I think was option C.
Option 3, yeah.
Then we would be getting reimbursed for all of the design work, so we will have to carry that for a little bit,
Yep.
but we would be getting there.
With that one though, there were concerns from abutters, right?
There's one abutter that's concerned about speed, and we're looking at ways to address that.
Okay.
Well, they also do some.
And also-
Property swaps as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of right away, but it depends on how the alignment comes up, that's what they're in the process of.
Mhm.
And I think he was talking about, probably we'll be seeing that final thing in the spring where we say, okay, this is what's been chosen.
And that's for 2027.
Yeah, 2027. Hopefully, I think bidding was. I think he was talking about bidding at the end of next year.
All right, but you have had some conversations with the abutters.
We have had some conversations and I know he's been communicating with the engineer directly in some cases.
Cause I remember you made a commitment to them, like this is not gonna be a top-down conversation.
No,
All your input,
they
so-
gotta bring us back the next phase of the design and say, this is what we now have. Now we know this is the impacts and then we gotta go meet with the interested parties.
Okay,
Cause it also affected the abutter across the street.
Yeah.
And they were gonna, basically, we would be decommissioning the part of the town road and then they wanted to take that. And they were also
Yeah.
concerned about the tunnel
Mhm.
undermining foundations. So there's those things that we have to address.
Okay,
Number two, Potato Road Bridge. They've already reviewed the comments from the preliminary design from NHDO2. They've already made their comments. We're moving into final design. And they began processing environmental permitting and right-of-way phases. So we are gonna be meeting with the butters shortly on Potato Road. And they received the approval of preliminary design documents on August 13th. And the project is moving forward with final design, and right now is planned for bidding in the summer of 26. So that will also be it'll be a 27 primarily build, late 26, early 27.
Really, I thought that
Well,
was.
if they do it in July or August, they can start and they'll probably get mostly worked on, but if they get out of the ground, they can finish the bridge in the winter.
We will have to keep an eye out as far as a butter.
Yeah.
Cause there's been an offer made on that property down
Okay.
there.
So that right now, their schedule says August of 26 for bidding. For Potato Road.
Yes. Transfer station.
That's next.
Okay, all right. Well,
You're jumping.
forgot about that, yeah.
No, I got.
Okay.
So the transfer station road bridge, they've already met with wetland scientists and the wetlands delineation. They're coordinating the geotechnical consultant to complete the assessment report and perform field survey and existing condition survey. This is in the very early stages of engineering phase and is progressing as planned. One thing we do want to have, what we have to have for this is another public hearing related to this project. HEB is suggesting October 7th. That we do a public hearing at 6, and then we can have our select board meeting after where they could just show us the conceptual plan and where we're going.
This is
Get
strictly on the,
This is strictly on the transfer station road bridge.
10-6 meeting.
6 o'clock meeting on the 7th.
So. Okay,
Does that include the boring? Or we have the bore stuff?
Yeah, that was the geotechnical.
Okay.
They're coordinated with the consultant to
well,
complete.
by
this
October 7th, we
report.
may not need it anymore.
Why? Oh,
Based on your earlier assessment.
no, I was just saying, that's why.
Well, because you're not gonna have any sewer plant. up there.
Oh, I
It's
didn't
getting-
know, I'll have a sewer plant, have that lift station.
So that's the 3 bridges. In your packet, I've included a letter. It was from our mechanic who gave his notice. He'll be leaving on the 23rd. We have advertised the position and we have 3 applicants as of today,
oh, really?
possibly a 4th. And the 4th would eliminate the other 3.
Can we do some, can we just do some comparisons of outsourcing all of it?
Yep.
To, at the same time. I don't think we can do it all, but just, you know.
And you have on your table, there's an MS1 that the assessor has forwarded to the select board. Which will determine our total assessed value for setting the tax rate.
Great. I'll make a motion to approve that. Number, we have the number actual. That means to the back end,
MS what? MS1.
MS1. Valuation of $8,002,600. I don't know, that's not, is that right?
That's just my property.
Should be 400. It's 400 something million.
Right.
The ball band, isn't it?
That might be just taxable value.
That's not, yeah, that's not right. What do we get deals with that?
Net valuation without utilities adjusted to remove TIF retained value, 464,034,254.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounds right. I'll make a motion to approve that. All in favor? Aye. Yes, sir.
The last item is a purchase order for EMS. It would be coming out of their reserve fund for $18,000, and I can't remember the titles.
Power supply, it's a Lucas 3,
The Lucas 3, yes, there's
and then
We have-
the power supply and battery all come out of the,
that are all for the same piece of equipment. Our Lucas we basically, our system is failing. We need do this like each year for the next 3 years to get us all upgraded.
And what is the Lucas?
It's a kind of vent that I don't, like a,
chest compression system
Yeah.
includes hard shell case and
It's a
back.
vent.
yeah, it's a vent.
And we still have this.
I'll
What's
make
that?
a motion to approve that.
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Did you need something for that to get it out of the trust fund?
So
Okay.
it's in there, not, you said it's in their fund?
Oh, it's in there.
Okay.
Okay, right. That's
It's in there,
Well,
there, so.
For
reserve
bonding?
fund, it's the capital.
you pay.
Oh, it is in their capital reserve fund. Oh, so did we, what's that? Okay, so then she does.
What do you?
EMS. So you said EMS?
EMS, yeah, thanks. Cindy, what do you need for that, for?
Carrie Ann will pay the vendor and then I will reimburse.
This is a land use change tax bill. That is a new one that they've been taken out of current use.
4 acres and so from current use being coming out, value is 75,790, so the luck is 7,570. I'll make a motion to approve.
I think.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright. Sorry, excited. But. Get the signature mode.
Very correct.
Yes, the one last item is another poll location request. So I'm assuming I'll give it to Scott. He can review for the next
That'd be
meeting.
great.
Okay.
You said the last one was the last one.
I know, and then I saw that already, like,
That was in the minutes, so it's okay.
Okay.
I should go.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but.
Anything else, Chet?
no, that's all I have.
Thank you. Anything from the public?
Please, no.
Don't say that like that.
Normally me.
Good meeting.
It's normally me.
Well, sad news, but good meeting.
Extension down that one, Wilson Lane.
It's productive.
Yeah, no, there was.
I wasn't gonna hit the drink.
To me.
Make a motion to go to adjourn.
We're doing it on public.
We do.
Okay, second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate the support coming to these meetings.
We had a trustee meeting like that last week. It was brutal, but we got a lot of work done.
Signs.
In 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, no, I'll see you on Thursday. Oh, you will?
That's good.
Oh, there we go.
Get that.
Yeah. Three meeting week this week.
Right.
There we go, CIP tomorrow.
No, Thursday.